Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked in the mirror and realized you've been living beneath your potential? Not because you aren't capable, but because somewhere along the line, you got distracted, you got comfortable, you started surviving instead of living? This speech is not for the content, the complacent, or the casually curious. This is for the ones who are tired of watching life pass them by while their dreams collect dust. It's for those standing at the edge of their own potential, unsure whether to leap or retreat, caught in the tug-of-war between who they've been and who they were born to become. If that's you, then today isn't just another moment. It's a turning point. Because we're about to strip away the noise, cancel the excuses, and cut through the fog with a message so real, so raw, and so necessary that you won't be able to ignore your own greatness any longer. This is about locking in, mentally, emotionally, physically, so you can rebuild a version of yourself that can no longer be broken by the storms that once shook you. So sit up, tune in, and get ready to meet the person you were always meant to become. There comes a time in every person's life, maybe once, maybe more, when the comfort of who you used to be no longer fits the size of the life you dream of living. And it is in that gap, in that suffocating in-between, that you are called to either remain dormant or rise. Lock in and rebuild yourself is not a catchy slogan. It is a declaration of war against mediocrity, excuses, and the diluted version of you that this world has convinced you to settle for. To lock in means to shut the door. Yes, slam it if you must. On every distraction, every toxic relationship, every habit that steals your time and potential like a thief in the night, leaving you empty and restless by morning. It means isolating yourself not to escape the world, but to confront it head-on with such fierce clarity that nothing, no noise, no comparison, no fear, can shake your foundation again. Rebuilding yourself is not a surface-level renovation. It is a demolition job of the highest order, requiring you to break down everything you've built that no longer serves your next level. You will have to sit with the painful truths, the late-night regrets, the shame you hide behind productivity, and the hollow victories you celebrate just to keep up appearances. You will need to audit your days and recognize where your time leaks, your energy drains, your soul aches, and then rip those things out by the root, no matter how comfortable they've become. Locking in is about becoming ruthlessly intentional, because the world doesn't reward the distracted, the hesitant, or the half-committed. It rewards those who are fully present, laser-focused, and obsessed with their evolution. And yes, obsession is required, not the unhealthy kind, but the type of deep, soul-driven commitment that says, I'm done playing small with my own life. When you lock in, you stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, and instead, you let your actions speak with the authority of someone who knows their purpose. You will lose people. Make peace with that now, because not everyone can follow you to the next version of yourself, and that's okay, because the real ones will rise with you or watch from a distance in awe. Rebuilding requires solitude, not loneliness, but solitude, the sacred space where you hear your thoughts clearly and start rewriting the internal narrative that once told you you weren't enough. You have to retrain your mind like a warrior preparing for battle, reading, meditating, journaling, reflecting, so that when the storms come, and they will, you are already built like the mountain that can't be moved. This is not a 30-day sprint. It's a lifelong contract you sign with your future self, stating that every single day you will do at least one thing, one action, one decision, one battle won, that moves you closer to who you are becoming. And make no mistake, this process will be brutal, because growth is not romantic. It's painful, messy, and filled with days where you question everything. But those are the days you're building the most. You will have to kill your old habits like a soldier clears a battlefield, not with hesitation, but with honor and purpose, knowing that what dies today creates space for what will thrive tomorrow. Locking in also means saying no, a lot more than you say yes. Not because you're selfish, but because your yes has value, and anything that dilutes your focus is too expensive to afford. You will feel misunderstood, isolated, even judged, but that is the cost of rising, and the higher you go, the more you will realize that peace and loneliness sometimes ride in the same car. The world loves to celebrate the comeback story, but what they never show you is the silence, the tears, the nights of doubt, and the mornings where getting out of bed feels like lifting a mountain. That's where the real rebuilding happens. Not on stage, not in public, but in the dark, in the quiet, when no one's watching and no one's cheering, and you still choose to show up for yourself. Because that is self-respect. Not liking who you are when everything's going well, but choosing to love and fight for yourself when you're still covered in the dust of your last breakdown. Your goals won't save you. Your systems will, your daily habits will, your mindset will, and your unbreakable discipline to show up even when it's boring, painful, or inconvenient will. Every time you silence your phone instead of scrolling, every time you hit the gym instead of snoozing, every time you open a book instead of Netflix, that's you, brick by brick, rebuilding the foundation of a life worth living. And you're not just rebuilding to survive. You're rebuilding to lead, to inspire, to protect your peace, to walk with purpose, and to be the person your younger self prayed for. Let the world wonder where you went for a while. Disappear into the grind, into the sharpening, into the deep work of transformation. And when you reemerge, let them meet the upgraded, refined, relentless version of you. Let your silence become your strategy, and your discipline become your declaration that nothing and no one will rob you of your potential again. You are not late. You are right on time to become everything you were destined to be, but only if you lock in, shut the noise, and go to war with your weaknesses. You are not broken. You are under construction, and every scar you carry is proof that you refuse to quit when it hurt the most. Do not seek balance while you're rebuilding. Seek obsession, seek consistency, seek that edge where discomfort and progress meet. And if no one believes in you right now, that's fine. Be your own believer, your own hype man, your own inner coach screaming, "Get up, we're not done yet." Because champions are not born. They are built, and they are built in the shadows, in the silence, in the solitude of locked-in effort. There will be voices, internal and external, telling you to slow down, to be realistic, to stay comfortable, but ignore them all, because your growth lives on the other side of unrealistic discipline. You don't need motivation every day. You need a reason, a real one, raw and personal, that wakes you up at 5 a.m. and keeps you grinding when the fire goes out. Build systems, not just intentions, because intentions without action are lies we tell ourselves to feel better while staying the same. Fall in love with boredom, because greatness is boring. It's the repetition, the routine, the daily grind that molds legends from ordinary humans. Don't wait for perfect timing. Perfect doesn't exist. Start where you are, with what you have, and build your momentum in the mess. This isn't about proving anyone wrong anymore. It's about proving to yourself that you can become someone you respect in the mirror. Your story isn't over. It's just on a powerful chapter, one that starts with you locking in, tuning out the noise, and rebuilding piece by piece. There will be days where progress feels invisible, but trust the process, because invisible progress is still progress, and your future self will thank you for not quitting. You are capable of unrecognizable transformation if you give yourself a year of full commitment, of deep work, of tunnel vision. Sacrifice the temporary comforts for the permanent fulfillment of becoming who you were always meant to be. Lock in now, because 5 years from now you'll either be grateful you started or regret that you didn't. And when it's all said and done, when the dust settles and the rebuild is complete, you'll look back and realize that the real reward wasn't the success, but the strength you built in silence. So stand up, square your shoulders, quiet the noise, and lock in. Because this is your season to rebuild, and the next version of you isn't going to build itself. So now I ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to silence the noise, starve your distractions, and finally take back control of your time, your mind, and your destiny? Are you ready to become so locked in that nothing, not doubt, not failure, not fear, can pull you off course? Because the truth is this: you don't need permission to rebuild yourself. You need a decision. A decision to rise, to fight, to grow, day after day, even when no one claps, even when no one believes, even when nothing seems to be changing on the outside. You rebuild not just for results, but for pride, for the quiet, powerful pride of knowing that you became the kind of person who didn't quit when things got hard, but instead leaned in, locked in, and went deeper. This is your line in the sand. Right here, right now, you are no longer a prisoner of your past. You are the architect of your future. Lock in. Rebuild yourself. And when the world sees who you've become, they won't believe it was ever you. But you will. And that's all that matters. Now go make it real.